What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roof. So I'm going to review the second mixtape by rapper Lil Reese. Basically, this product is called Supa Savage, and it came out in the late summer of 2013. So this is the follow-up mixtape from Lil Reese after his hit mixtape from 2012, I Don't Like, which was a pretty good pitch. I reviewed that back in the summer of 2023. That was a classic there. Definitely had some impactfulness. It was kind of like a good companion piece to Chief Keef's Back from the Dead from 2012 mixtape. Reviewed some Chief Keef from 2012, just a good pitch. But this was the sort of Chicago drill that was kind of happening. There's a number of these folks I didn't know about as much. I do remember Chief Keef and a little bit of Lil Reese, but there's some other folks that I found out on this particular product, like Fredo Santana. R.I.P. to him. I'm going to check out some of his music eventually, and then Lil Durk, who I'm going to get to soon enough as far as those pitches going to happen. But it's just kind of the concept of some of these type folks. I definitely feel like this is another excellent here. It's definitely another excellent classic mixtape here. It's kind of low key for the most part. Lil Reese is not commonly talked about. I mean, he has the occasional project that gets some flair on YouTube and stuff. But I feel like this is definitely like a classic mixtape from like the early 2010s. I'd say just once again another cousin of the style that Chief Keef was kind of doing, some of that type pitch of the Chicago drill and this drill in general, mixtape hitters and just overall quality. So recommended all 10 of the songs on this particular mixtape. So easily enough, it gets a 10 out of 10. Had a lot of good promotions, 6 music videos / singles as far as this pitch is going to happen. It's very impactful. The fact that this project is free is really a steal, just with an aspect behind it, just because the blistering type appeal behind it just really has plenty to offer, which is interesting just within the flair behind it. So I do remember giving like I Don't Like the mixtape from 2012, like I was saying, like a 10 out of 10, but it's just a good impactful type 1-2 punch. It's kind of the same thing with Chief Keef. I remember giving Back from the Dead like either over a 9 out of 10. I think I gave that one like a 10 out of 10. I gave Bang from 2011 like a 10 out of 10 as well. So it's just some good pitches. That the flair behind these folks is pretty aspect. So it's just kind of the concept of shape-shifting some of the sounds and like the mixtape type flair. Back in these days, 2011, 2013, some of these type fairs, mixtapes were just blockaded type ones, just continue to be impactful. Now originally I kind of thought that mixtapes had kind of dissipated a little bit in 2013, but there are some ones when I think about it, like Future's FBG the movie and like Casino's mixtape from 2013, forget what that one's called. And like, you know, Chief Keef had Bang Part 2, and then there's this one, Supa Savage. Meek Mill had Dream Chasers 3, some of these type pitches. So, you know, Rick Ross, not Rick Ross, but just folks like that. Lil Snoop had a mixtape. So there's just some good ones within that relative appeal. But yeah, easily impactful type mixtape here to be able to get. So has some productions on here from like Young Chop, Lex Luger. I want to say Lex Luger might be on here. Maybe not Lex Luger, but some other type folks that are kind of within that relative type sound. I don't know these folks as much, but I do know Young Chop's on here at least a couple times, but not as much as he was on I Don't Like in Chief Keef's 2012 mixtapes. But just the concept, this is like a very visceral type one in terms of mixtape type fare. Just really the impact, every beat on here is pretty feral, just within the sense. I mean, it has a little bit of Chief Keef horrorcore on here. It definitely has like this real embraceful type stuff. Just kind of melds like drill type sound from like 2010, 2011 with some of the stuff that was getting ready to happen in like mid 2010s trap, some of those type fairs, the stuff that Future, Migos, Yo Gotti were kind of doing some of that type fare. But so yeah, there were 6 music videos out this project. Like I said, I recommend all the songs on here, so I'm just going to get to some of these. Easily enough, this mixtape is a 10 out of 10. But the first single is Relate. It's like a vintage kind of murky early 2010s trap buzz single, I'd have to say here. Definite Chief Keef cousin. I'd have to feel like this typical evening track. I would feel like for this particular song, just a good song, get some snackish too. Just a concept gas station runs, just picking up some corn nuts, frozen burritos, some of that type fare, getting some Chex Mix, some of that type ness, just within the night commerce. Just a good concept for like, it's like your basic loud pack for just like those murky kind of evenings, especially in like September, October when the skies are more red and pitches like that. I'd have to say just within the tone, it's real ghastly type appeal, this standard trap turn up. And a lot of these work for pretty house party type appeal. I do feel like at least some songs like I would say like We Won't Stop, Wadam, some of those types of ones, Team, some of these type of ones do have like some relative nightclub type of feel. But you'd be surprised at the number of songs off this project that just work for like a pretty blitzing house party where there's going to be red cups and some of those type fares, just to be able to say it's more hard liquor type fare, just going to like Brown Derby, some of those type places, just to be able to kick back with some of that just within the pitch. But What's Up is the second single. Now this is definitely some woozy trap thunder. It says Fredo Santana and Lil Durk on here, so a classic type team up as far as those pitches going to happen. It's like a woozy trap thunder kind of get snap to it definitely, and this is like a rev kind of residential night turn up. I feel like about this one, get dap a bit, smoke a few, just kinetic type song kind of have. So this one, just like a team, I'd have to say some of these songs on here just have a little bit more blitz. Some of these have a little bit more blitz as compared to some of that type fare. I feel like Relate's just more of like a track, just kind of smoke on your own type fare, just some of that typeness just to be able to get. Maybe you're getting supplies for the pals, but What's Up's a little bit more dap, just kind of the concept of just pitching, kicking back, having some social spark within that aspect, some good type tones kind of get for some of that hypeness. Supa Savage is a nice one. This is a pretty trendy type one. It's like a very leery and trendy kind of contender for like some mid 2010s trap as far as those pitches can happen as things started to morph into like the more Dirty Sprite 2 and What a Time to Be Alive type days, some of those type fares, some of those ones that were kind of happening. It's just a good concept scene as to how trap was kind of morphing pretty aspectedly quickly. Some of the folks like Migos and Gucci Mane, some of those type of folks are kind of doing that future. Definitely some good trap step out to kind of get here. Kind of like a conduit between like early 2010s mixtape type fare and what was going to happen throughout the IG life type days in like the mid 2010s. I'd say just some mixtape stunt type tune. It's a pretty good mixtape stunt song, kind of get just some vehicle pizzazz, kind of have like that thump of just like that oozing type fare that like a lot of those bass heavy type cuts kind of did in like the 2010s. This is a good song for looking jazzy, I'd have to say. So it's just the intro, but I look after still quality gem to kind of get this one. Just really has the affable type appeal, just some cruise around just within a night creeping type sense. Maybe just get some Taco Bell, something like that. Just enjoy the times, just feel good. I Need That's a nice one. It's like a tittering kind of evening creep around. I'd feel like here, just a night track kind of smoking like the night breeze type fare, just some autumn kind of homies kickbacks. This one goes better with Relate. I'd have to say just a little bit more just in mind of just not quite as much turn up. I feel like Relate at least has some relative kind of house party or nightclub type appeal and like a buzzing type sense, but I Need That's just kind of one that just reminds like 3-6 Mafia type S type-ness. I mean, it's definitely some further homies type music, just not quite as hype and as feral as like songs like What's Up and Team and some of those type ones, What Am, We Won't Stop, some of those type ones, No Lack and Money Stacking, some of those type ones. But it is just some good kickback, just easily kind of smoking, easy kind of backyard smokage pitches like that, I'd say, just within the tone as far as that particular kind of goes. So it does have similarities to Relate, I would feel like. Team is a quality one. It's like a house party blitzer, I'd feel like here, just a craze kind of social highlight and definitely some loud pack to kind of have for some of that. Just some loud pack turn up, I would have to say. One of the tape's most feral songs that I'd say, great song to get crunk to. Team would also be like a pretty good traffic type song, kind of get just within the tone and just like some standard cruise around just within the pitch and just feeling hype in a good mood. It was definitely like some good hypeness to kind of get for like the concept of just feeling revved and pitches like that. Just a real craze I want to kind of get here. Just real like the aspect of that one. Nice gem to be able to get. And Irrelevance, a quality one as well. It's like a vintage kind of early 2010s drill song with like some radio ready chorus gloss to kind of get there. Do like the chorus on that particular song. Nice pitch of that one. Kind of, I mean, for the most part, drill is always kind of more rugged and just kind of more rough around the edges, but I like the concept of trying to commercialize it, make it more radio ready within that tone. It's definitely like a Taco Bell. It's like a polished kind of Chief Keef sound. This is where it got amalgamated better and just more public relations type factor. It has, I mean, not public relations, but just a little bit more polished just within the pitch of just like more amalgamated. It's more glossed out and more suited for radio, I'd have to say, within that, and it's a pretty good slapper to kind of get here just within the pitch behind it. So it's just good tone to kind of get some of these. Just really like the overall affability behind it. This is the sort of stuff, I mean, it makes you miss these particular type styles. Some of these type pitches, just getting these bops where you get these gems just left and right. 2010s really had some excellent type fares, blistering type appeal. Definitely need to be like 20 more of these mixtapes. There are quite a few more by Lil Reese within that tone, but some of these were just blockaded gems after the other. Definitely nailed it pretty well. But that's the singles out this particular product. So definitely some of these on here, like Supa Savage is like a nice cruise around type fare. Nice stunt song. Team is like a nice house party type craze. Irrelevance, like some good radio polish and just makeshift type fare within a hustler's makeshift, just within a drill type sense. Got some real good radio appeal. What's Up is kind of like, and then songs like What's Up and Team are more house party type thunder kind of get within that pitch, and then like Relate and I Need That are just more creep around type songs just to be able to get within like some night trekking as far as those pitches can happen. But yeah, every song on this mixtape I recommend. So talk about these other 4 songs on here. Basically, like No Lack and Money Stacking's a nice one. It's like a typical kind of drill highlight. Another production produced by Young Chop. He's not on here as much, but some good concept. Get some of those throwback type days for vintage highlights from like the 2012 days. It's like a typical drill highlight, like I was saying. Stock night party gem to kind of get here. Make some noise, kind of get loose a bit, and just an overall hit to kind of get here. Has Walk a Flock of Flame on there and Wale, so it kind of has like the reminders of like the No Hands type pitch just without Roscoe Dash. I'd have to say it was definitely a pretty good gem. Yeah, No Lack and Money Stacking's just like a kind of spiritual sequel to songs like I Don't Like, that same kind of lug ground pounding as far as those pitches kind of happen. Wadam and We Don't Stop are some quality ones. These have some of the best productions on here, but Wadam is definitely like a hypnotic kind of trap carnage. I would feel like here, just some Night Pandemonium, good Taco Bell run type stuff kind of get. This Trek and Smokage, I would definitely feel like in the Night Thrills, just some overall Dat Fun kind of get. So it works pretty well. Like a song like Team and a song like What's Up, some of those type of ones. Kind of some of these type pitches. I mean, a lot of this, like I was saying, is the House Party Blitz. This type of appeal is just overall this social quality about it. Some social blitzkrieg as far as those pitches kind of happen. This easy kind of highlighted, this homies type music. Easy kind of homies type music to kind of have for some chit chat, kickback, some of that type fair PlayStation type music. Hella Smoke, which I'd have to say, good tone for that. And We Won't Stop with Chief Keef. There are some Chief Keef featured songs on here. He's not as like highlighted on this particular project. I'm glad that Chief Keef was on here, but I think Lil Reese was trying to stand away from Chief Keef to the point where he's not just seen as like his wingman, to the point where he's just like, you know, like, where he's not only known as like Chief Keef's wingman just within those pitches. But I like the concept of getting Chief Keef on here. It's the same thing with Fredo Santana and Lil Durk, some good type pitches to kind of get some of these. But We Won't Stop, Vicious Trap Dynamite, I feel like one of the tape's most riveting beats. I would definitely feel like just like Wadam and some of these type ones like Team and I Need That, some of those type ones. There's plenty of these type ones. What's Up, I'd have to say. And has definitely some syrupy kind of snarl on here, and this just like a stock splitter kind of get. Some of these do work for like some nightclub bliss just within the relative type of appeal. Some good gems kind of get. It's one after the other. I mean, I feel like most of this album just, or pretty much this whole project, you're going to find the commotion about it, so it's just easy enough to kind of see that. But I would have to say, I would definitely say that the Chief Keef ones, for folks that are not as familiar, if you don't know as casual, if you're more casual wise and you don't know like the starting points for some of this, I would say probably if you like songs like I Don't Like with Chief Keef and the Chief Keef stuff that he's done, like 300, some of those type hits, I'd say the Chief Keef songs would be some great starting points because they do have some blistering type productions. At least We Won't Stop is probably the better one. I mean, What It Looked Like is good, but We Won't Stop probably is the better one. No Lack, I would go for the Young Chop. I would go for like the Young Chop beats, and I'd go for like the singles. Obviously, it's just the pitch, but there's just plenty. The casual score, the casual impact should not be that tough to discern, just because the concept that there's 6 singles pitched like that. There's plenty of good commotion about it. It's real hype and just swirl type project that just has the quality there. And then What It Looked Like is a quality one. It's like a creeping throwback Chief Keef like horrorcore to kind of get from like the 2012 days. I would definitely feel like it's kind of Out in the Night Wind kind of Trek song kind of have for some of that type fare. Just typical of like Back from the Dead and some of those type pitches, and probably Lil Reese from like his 2012 mixtape I Don't Like. I don't remember that mixtape as much. I need to throw some of that on my MP3 player again as far as those pitches kind of happen. My new one as far as those pitches kind of happen. But I just look after, I just would have to say definitely does have that blistering type appeal for some of that vintage, for some of those vintage type days kind of gets. That's the pitch behind it. Just being able to say 10 out of 10. Just being able to say 10 out of 10 every song on here. Like I was saying, just the dark snarl of this particular product, just very impactful. House Party Dynamite just within the pitch. Plenty of these. Vintage Chief Keef kind of horrorcore, some of that type tone, some of those night tracks, Taco Bell runs, some of that type stuff, gas station runs, snackage, cruise around, some toy tens trap, all that type stuff. So social score is going to get a 10 out of 10. I mean, I like the fact that there were 6 music videos, 6 singles, just with all that appeal. Some big names on here like Fredo Santana, Lil Durk, Chief Keef, some Young Chop beats, Waka Flocka Flame and Wale are on here. Some good hooks on here with songs like Irrelevant and some of those type ones. Supa Savage is pretty radio ready. It's within the particular tone to some of that. The Chief Keef songs are pretty immediate highlights, so this has the tone behind it. So in terms of the future, like the unfortunate thing is that Lil Reese kind of got caught up, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to put out projects if he does have like a prison sentence, something within that relative type tone. I'm going to review some more Lil Reese down the road. I got at least a few more of these I want to get to. It's definitely very impactful, and this is easy enough to see. This is a classic mixtape. I would definitely check it out just within, folks. If you pretty much know Chief Keef, but you don't know him, he's like a great wingman to kind of get for like a good avenue of further augmentations, that particular style. There's plenty of casual bops on here, just as long as you have a more open mind to it as far as this pitch can happen. It definitely is not, it's not like it doesn't have the hooks and radio gloss just kind of within the appeal. It just takes just a little bit of digging, I have to say, but it's not like it's a ton of it.